Hey, so let's talk about Git. If you've ever felt that little pit in your stomach when someone brings it up, or when you're staring at the command line, this one's for you. We're going to try something a little different today. No fire hose of commands, no complex diagrams. We're just going to strip it all back to what actually matters.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Those huge cheat sheets with a million commands. You get tangled up in a merge conflict, and suddenly you feel like you're one wrong move away from deleting the entire project. Look, it's a super common feeling. You're not alone. It feels like a lot, probably because everyone told you it's a lot. But just for a second, let's breathe. No, seriously, take a breath. Let all that anxiety just go. We're gonna wipe the slate clean. Here's the secret about Git that nobody tells you at the beginning. It completely follows the 80-20 rule. You honestly only need about 20% of the commands to do 80, maybe even 90% of your everyday work. All that other stuff, that's for really specific edge cases, things you might not see for years. So today, we're only focusing on that vital 20%. So let's start at the very beginning, the absolute core idea. The entire purpose of Git can really be boiled down to one simple concept: taking snapshots of your work so you can never truly lose anything important. Which, brings up the first big question. Why? Why do we even use a command called commit? What is the whole point? Okay, think of it like this. A commit is a save point in your project. It's just like in a video game. It's a safe, permanent version of your world that you can always get back to if things go wrong. You make a huge mess, just load your last save point. It is honestly that simple and that powerful. And the process to create one of these save points is just a simple two-step ritual. First, you choose the files you want to include in the snapshot. That's git add. Think of it like you're staging your files, getting them ready for their picture. Then, once you have everything you want, you use git commit to take the snapshot. That's it. Add, then commit. Add, then commit. This is the fundamental heartbeat of using Git. For real, that is the core loop. Everything else that we're going to talk about is just built on top of this one simple idea of taking snapshots. See? Git is only this much. Okay, so we've got our save points down, but what happens when you want to try something new, maybe something a little wild, without wrecking all the progress you've made? Well, that's where you learn how to experiment without fear. I mean, this is a question every single developer asks, right? You've got this great idea for a new feature, or you need to tackle a really tricky bug, but you are terrified of messing up the main working version of the code. So how do you create a safe space to work? The answer is a branch. And honestly, the best way to think of a branch is as a parallel universe for your code. You can create a complete copy of your project in an instant. Step into that new universe and just do whatever you want. Try things, break things, fix them again, and none of it affects the original main universe until you are ready for it to. And to create that new playground and jump right into it, you just use one command, git checkout-b, and then you give your branch a name. Then, once you're in that safe space and you've finished your work, you just switch back to your main branch and bring your changes over using git merge. I know merging can sound scary sometimes, but the basic command itself is really that straightforward. Now, you've probably heard people get into heated debates about rebase versus merge. For now, I'm giving you official permission to completely ignore it. Just know that they are two different ways to do the same thing. Bring changes from one branch into another. Just stick with merge for now. You'll be absolutely fine. All right, so you're taking snapshots, you're experimenting safely in your own parallel universes, but what about actually working with other people? Well, that's where remotes come in. This is how you connect your solo work to the rest of the team. And once again, it just boils down to two really simple ideas. When you've made some commits on your computer and you're ready to share them, you git push. And when your teammates have shared their work and you want to get all their latest updates, you git pull. You push your work out, you pull their work in. And that is the heart of collaboration in Git, pushing and pulling these snapshots between your computer and some central place like GitHub. That's really it. See? Git is only this much. Okay, now for a pro tip. A true life hack for a situation that happens to all of us constantly, getting interrupted right in the middle of something important. You know this scene. You are deep in the zone, you've got files open everywhere, your code is half finished and it is definitely not working, and your boss comes over with an urgent, drop everything and fix this now kind of request. What do you do with all that messy, half-done work? You hit the pause button. And that pause button is Git Stash. What it does is it takes all of your messy, uncommitted changes and it just sweeps them aside into a safe little hiding place. And it cleans your project back to its last save point. So now you have a perfectly clean slate to work on that urgent fix. And when you're done, you just come back and use Git Stash Pop, and all of your messy work comes right back exactly as you left it. It's a lifesaver.
So we've covered the basics for working on your own, branching out, and collaborating. Now we come to what might be the most important part of this whole explainer: what you can and what you should ignore.
Just look at this list for a second. Does this seem a little intimidating? Good. This is just a tiny sample of what are called plumbing commands. They're the low-level nuts and bolts that make Git tick. And while they are super important for Git itself, for your day-to-day work, they're pretty much irrelevant.
So here is the best part. You can ignore all of these. Seriously, you could probably go your entire first year using Git, maybe even longer, without ever having to touch these. You don't need to learn them to be incredibly good at your job. So let's bring it all together. This is it. This is the toolkit. For your core work, it's add, commit, and status. For branching, it's checkout and merge. For working with your team, push and pull. And for that life-saving pause button, it's stash and stash pop. That is the list. That is your entire foundation. It all fits on one slide. So the next time you see a giant cheat sheet or you start to feel that sense of overwhelm creeping in, just come back to this idea. You don't need to know everything. To get started, to be effective,